Arce zone has some of the most fertile soils and is the most important wheat growing area in Ethiopia. However, official data of the Central Statistics Office indicate that average wheat yield in Arce is only around 35 quintals per hectare. Doubling this yield is possible as soon as the required input are available and applied correctly and on time in the required quantity and quality. Mechanizing is a key factor in releasing the yield potential of modern varieties. One of such technology is row seeding, which may increase wheat yields by up to 20% as row seeding is optimizing the plant density. Currently, most farmers in Arce zone are fully aware of the advantages of row seeding over broadcasting. Yet, most farmers still broadcast their seed, and at most 5% of all wheat growing areas in Ethiopia is row seeded. This is due to lack of training and experiences of the tractor operators in adjusting and calibrating the complicated mechanical row seeder. Moreover, the high cost of imported row seeders, the lack of spare parts, as well as the extremely high labor needed for manual row seeding are the main factors explaining this low level of row seeding in Ethiopia today. Over many years, Ato Alemayo observed the V-shaped surface of oxen-plowed fields, and that through broadcasting the whole surface is getting covered with seed. He concluded that by leveling the tip of the ridges, the tip soil and seeds will be pushed right and left into the furrows, thus creating bands with seeds, alternating with bands without seeds, thus emulating row seeding and achieving similar results as obtained with tractor mounting mechanical row seeders. Ato Tekele and Ato Ishetu are model farmers. In the year 2019, they are preparing their land to seed in row their wheat plots using the Alemayo row seeding technology. To compare the yield between art row seeding by Ato Tekele and Ato Ishetu with traditional broadcasting of their neighboring farmers, Ato Alemayo and Ato Deme use the same wheat variety and the same amount of inputs, such as fertilizer. In addition, we had confirmed that the neighboring farmers had practiced the same cropping pattern in the past years on their plots. Here we see Ato Tekele and Ato Ishetu plowing their field for the fourth and last time with the traditional mersha just before broadcasting the wheat seed. Plowing and sowing with the traditional mersha requires long time and is more tiresome for both the farmer and the oxen as compared to combining plowing with the Birkin mersha and row seeding with the full art set. After having plowed one plot 3 times with traditional mersha, Ato Tekele and Ato Ishetu are broadcasting the seed in the usual traditional way. After broadcasting has been completed, both farmers are going to cover the seed with a level board. The leveling board pushes the soil and the seed from the tips of the ridges into the furrows at the left and right. This creates bands of seeds alternating with bands without seed, the wheat seed germinating and growing only in line with furrows. Combining plowing with Birkin mersha and row seeding with the full art set. The surface of the field plowed with the Birkin mersha is more undulating and lacks the characteristic inverted V-shaped ridges of the traditional mersha. Therefore, the V-shaped surface is created by a ridger. The full art set, the harrow, ridger, the leveling board and the cultivator are all bolted to the art frame. To transform a flat surface into an inverted V-shaped surface, bigger soil clods need first to be broken down into smaller parts through harrowing. In the next step, Ato Tekele and Ato Ishetu are using art ridger to create an inverted V-shaped surface similar to the surface achieved with the traditional mersha. The art ridger has 6 shears, creating in one pass 5 ridges and 6 harrows. After they made the ridges, Ato Tekele and Ato Ishetu broadcast the seed as the farmers have always done and most are still doing. Now they have completed broadcasting the seed and removed the art ridger and replaced it with the art leveling board. It is the final step. Ato Tekele and Ato Ishetu are going to cover the seed with the leveling board as they have done before with the plots plowed with the traditional mersha. After 7 to 10 days after sowing, we are back and the seed has emerged. Farmers are observing that on the art row seeded plots, the wheat seeds are emerging in bands, while on the nearby broadcast wheat field, the seeds are emerging everywhere. They discuss what they are seeing and try to imagine the consequences of the different emerging patterns. The equipment we use here is made by Alemayo. We use it to cover the seeds in order to make the plant to grow in line. During tillering stage, it is the right time to loosen the soil and to remove the weeds growing between the wheat bands. This can be done by the art cultivator. A cultivator is very similar to the art harrow, as it has 5 rows of teeth which fit exactly between the wheat bands and which are fixed to the art frame accordingly. As the distance between the wheat bands must be identical as the distance between the teeth of the cultivator, using the cultivator at tillering stage is much easier in fields where the ridger, instead of the traditional mersha, was used for making the furrows and ridges. But cultivating the soil between the wheat rows, the farmer removes most weeds and loosens the soil in between the bands with the tillering wheat plants. The loosened soil allows most oxygen entering the root zone, improves the infiltration of rainwater, and in general, cultivating stimulates root growth, the tillering and the vegetative growth of the wheat plants. 10 to 14 days after cultivation, the farmers are coming back to observe the development of the wheat plants in the row seeded and compare it with the crop status of the broadcast wheat field nearby. Even if the result is known and publicized after harvesting, honestly speaking, the development and tillering capacity of the plants sown by this technology is very promising. Having applied and followed all good agricultural practices, the row-seeded wheat crop is in very good condition, promising a very good harvest. It is time for harvesting. The combine harvester is here to harvest the wheat yield for those plots which have been planted in 3 diverse methods. Each wheat plot will be separately harvested, bagged and weighed with great care. The harvesting team is now weighing and comparing the grain harvested from the plots of the 3 different sowing methods and calculating the actual quantities weighed to the actual yield per hectare. From beginning to end, I have seen the modern and the traditional row seeding methods. For instance, previously, when I seed in row, I used to plant mechanically with hand with my children. Currently, I have used both traditional mersha plus the leveling board and full art set simultaneously. So if you ask me their difference, I got a better yield from the full art set. Based on what I have observed from my experience, I suggest if others also use this full art set technology. In this production season, we have seen good results. If you support us in this way for future, we are happy to work accordingly, since we have seen better yield result compared to the previous production season. We witness about the result achieved as we have seen when it has been weighed and calculated. So I can confidently speak that it is a better technology than the traditional method we have been using so far. Now we are at the door of Farmer Tekele. Since we have been working, now farmers can increase their wheat production using our technology. Now we are at the final stage. we weighed and calculated the yield. Previously, Ato Tekele has been using traditional farming system and he acquired 40 quintal per hectare based on the data we had. In this production season, from the full art technology, he acquired 51.64 quintal per hectare, and from the traditional Mersha plus leveling board, he got 48.12 quintal per hectare.
ኩንታል አካባቢ ነው። oomisha kanarratti meeshaa alamaayoo guutuu fi
In this production season, we used two methods of art technology. These are the full art set and the traditional Mersha plus the leveling board. The yield acquired from the full art set is 51 quintal per hectare, and the traditional Mersha plus the leveling board is 41 quintal per hectare. The yields as harvested and documented at the end of the growing season 2019 clearly demonstrate that the treatment combining the plowing with Birkin Mersha with full art set implements achieved the highest yield. The result we obtained from a research conducted last year was satisfactory. We got up to 30% yield increase from our last year research. That is why we were more eager to do this research again this year. We postulate that the uniform distance between the rows resulting in the highest density of plant and productive tillers per hectare are the main factor explaining the high yields obtained with the combination Birkin Mersha and full art set. When we evaluated the yield from these three methods, there is a high difference between them. The yield obtained from the full art set is much higher than the rest. Although the yield from the traditional Mersha plus the leveling board is closer to the full art set and ranked it second. However, the yield obtained from the broadcasting have shown much lower yield than the pre-discussed two art treatments. In 2019, in total, 890 hectares were art row seeded. This area we will try to increase significantly by promoting full art row seeding on cluster basis. We are confident that the art row seeding technology is a row seeding technology for the future of Ethiopia, as it increases significantly the production and productivity of cereals and the income and livelihood of cereal farmers in Ethiopia.